ready whenever you are.
Alright.
Have it warm.
Okay. Alright, everybody. It is 6 o'clock. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Woodstock Planning Board for July 3rd, 2025. Do we have any updates to the agenda?
No, we do not.
We have the minutes from June 5. If everybody's okay with them, we'd accept them as is.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Oh, yes. We have a public hearing that is remaining open, and this is a public hearing for the proposed gas station on Route 28. It's called 1105 Route 28. And we have the public hearing is open, so if there's anybody here in the public for that case, we can hear from you now.
Do you want to say something, Mike?
At the end, I think.
At the end, not now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Remind me.
All right, so if there's no comments on the gas station 1105, then we'll move on. We have...
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My only thing was that.
Come on up.
Before we move on. So I'm Mark, once again, from 1105.
This is Mark, the owner of 1105 Route 28.
That's for a number of these meetings. The only thing that we're requesting is, can we close the public hearing? I mean, there's nobody new coming out.
No, we're still waiting for information. We've put in a request to DOT to give us some guidance on that intersection because it's such a dangerous intersection. So we're still waiting for them.
You're waiting on the DOT.
I don't know when they'll
You haven't gotten anything?
put a letter into them.
Nothing, yeah.
Okay, because that's where we would just like to...
That's why we're trying to just keep it open till we get more information.
Okay. All right.
I did ask, the last time I talked to Taylor, I asked if he had any more information for us, and he did not. So
Right,
is there
right.
any,
I don't have anything. That's
Okay.
what this thing is just, it's just stagnating, and I get it. We're waiting on the DOT. I guess we'll
Yeah, we're
reach
just
out
waiting
to
on
them.
them.
See if they'll get something so we can close it and come to a vote.
Yep, that's what we'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a
Okay,
nice
thank you.
night.
Have a
Okay.
nice day.
Yes,
Okay.
you're all good.
Okay, we have 3 public hearings tonight. The first one is Nan Fish and Nadine Badeau, which is a public hearing for a minor subdivision application to subdivide a lot of 1.5 acres into 2 lots of 1.1 and 0.4 in the HR zoning district at 2123 Library Lane. Come on in, and the board has certainly gone over this a few times. We've seen you quite a few times here, and I don't believe we have anything else to add. Everything has been approved. The subdivision line meets all the required setbacks, and the lot meets all the required zoning requirements. So I don't know if any board members have any other further questions.
Did you open the public hearing, or did I miss that?
Oh, I'm very sorry. Let me open the public hearing first.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.
Okay, is there anybody in the public here for this case?
That's a negative.
Is anybody write in?
I had one person ask for the map, and then I never heard another word. So it's perfect.
Okay.
Ready?
Therefore, make a motion to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All righty.
One
Now
more.
we're good.
One more.
One more to go, which is make a motion to approve the application pending draft resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we did it.
Mid-next week, you'll have the resolution. We'll get the final plan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Have a
You're a
great
great board. Really
I'm
appreciate
taking
it.
off the beginning of the week, so probably Wednesday you'll
Okay.
all come.
Really appreciate all of you.
Thank you for your patience in working with us.
All right, a couple seconds ahead, but we'll read this one out. The next public hearing is Jennifer Hillbrand and Michael Story, which is SUP 25-0701. And this is a public hearing for a special use permit application to construct a single-family dwelling and install solar panels in the scenic overlay in the R5 zoning district at 390 Raycliffe Drive in Woodstock. And so guys, we've already reviewed this, and let me, make a motion to open the public hearing.
Move, we open the public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So, the board remember what they proposed on either side? Is there anybody in the public, have any comments regarding this application? No.
I had one email from a neighbor, and they said that they spoke to the owners, but it was there was nothing on our worries, so.
Okay, and nothing from the Raycliffe Association,
Nope.
so, therefore I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we now want to make a motion to approve the application pending draft resolution.
I move we approve the application pending draft resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Probably
Okay.
Wednesday, I will have the resolution out to you, and we'll get the final plans together and have it all done. Thank you for everything.
Thank you all.
Thank
for your time.
Happy 4th!
Yeah.
Appreciate your thoroughness.
Thank
You
you.
did a great job.
Thank you.
Did we close the public hearing?
We did!
We did.
Peter, once we do the first, then we got them going.
Remember our script here. All right.
So then
We have another public hearing.
But it's 10 minutes
Yep.
after, according to the calendar, we need to wait until quarter after.
Yep, this is true.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
It's okay, you're 100% right. We're just so efficient.
Yeah, I don't even have that case.
Did you all see the hail?
No, but I did see all the ambulances.
I heard there were a lot of trees down,
A
too.
lot of trees down.
Yeah,
I just saw a Rockwood farm go across.
I did too, so it must have been the same, maybe the same or a different one. At the next meeting, we have a timber harvest coming, and I already had Lori go check it out. So we'll have our initial review when they come, and then we can just keep momentum going.
Very good.
Right.
Come on in.
This is a public hearing, so we need to have it
Dear?
on time. In case anybody who's interested in coming late, we need to let it open on time, and we're 5 minutes early.
Actually, you know what we can do? Ready? Such a teacher. Underneath your packets is the letter regarding the comprehensive plan. Why don't you guys give it a once over, and we can agree or disagree to send it on. For a minute. Email time. I get it.
In the meantime, this is boy's birthday today. He turned 5. He's in his crate. I couldn't ice cream wheel. Like, this pizza filled with tongue and cheese. He's got dog food that has a little honey on it with some mustard. He's such a good boy.
I think there's a typo.
Okay.
Although the town, so that's 1, 2, 3, I don't know how to count the paragraphs. It's the third from the bottom.
I got
Two
you.
from the
Although the
bottom.
town has a new sound ordinance, yep.
Focus on the balance between being a town offering music and events, and there is an and missing here.
Okay, tell me where.
We recommend further studies on noise, focus on the balance between being a town offering music and events, and should be there. Respect for people who provide affordable housing option on their, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong place. And respect for the need for people who are living up here as well.
So events, an and in between
There should be an
events
and
and
between
respect.
events and respect.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, I caught a few.
I don't see anything else. Anybody else?
Looks good to me.
Looks good for me. Yeah.
I'll add the end and I'll forward it on.
All right, so we'll take a vote. We can pass this on to the town board. Everybody,
I move we send this to the town board as amended.
all in favor?
Aye.
And just so the public knows, the planning board reviewed the comprehensive plan a few weeks ago, and we're just giving our recommendations to the town board, which is basically to do what the comp plan already suggested to do.
And a few other things, we've added some concerns.
Yeah, we added some things.
All right.
Okay.
1 minute to go, or should we go ahead?
Yeah, I think by the time he reads it, we'll be good.
Okay,
By the time we open, it'll be 6:15.
I move we open the public hearing.
Oh, no, now you're rushing it. Peter's gonna read the blurb.
Okay, we are now gonna have a public hearing for Centerline Communications as agent for New Singular Wireless PCS LLC, and it's the Town of Woodstock case 25-03221 and SUP-25-3611. And this is a public hearing for a site review and special use permit applications to update equipment to an existing site plan of telecommunications facility with installation of 2 antennas, 1 conduit with fiber line located in the R8 zoning district. Oh, there's a little lock of power there. This is what's called just so everybody knows,
Eligible facilities request application.
And it means that they're asking to do some improvements to their communication tower up there, but they're not changing anything sufficiently or in any size. And really, the planning board has no other say other than to agree to this if you all want to keep your cell service going. We did ask for some technical data that some of the members and people of the house wanted to know, and that was provided. So having given that, let me open the public hearing.
Now you can open the public hearing.
Motion to open the public hearing.
Second?
We have a second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
And we have lost our,
I know.
hope we've lost the Zoom.
I don't know if it's worth trying to put back on yet or what. What do you think?
So is there anyone from the public here to say anything about this telecommunications upgrade? Yes, sir, if you could give your name for...
Rex Funk. I have about 4 questions, if that's all right. First of all, who's responsible for determining if the application is complete or incomplete? Is it planning board or building department?
Basically planning board, but planning board upon the advice of an attorney,
All right,
which has been done.
so it's been deemed complete.
So there's a shot clock involved with eligible
I understand.
facilities requests.
And then also, I understand these are 2 new antennas being added, and they're about in the 3 to 4 gigahertz range that they're transmitting now. But I wonder, and I think other people would like to know, if it's capable of also transmitting the higher frequencies of the high band 5G.
No. They asked that and they reported back and it's mid-band 5G and way below what the recommendations are.
Way below the power density?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. And the town code has a provision for random testing of the cell tower to see if it's above.
We got all that information also, the only thing is that they need a sign at the bottom. And that's included in our resolution for them to do it.
Okay, but there's a provision in the town code to randomly test.
That's what that report was that we got.
You got a test of the power output,
Yes.
and it was below FCC guidelines, is that right?
It's a whole thing, yeah.
Okay. I was gonna ask if it could be tested after these 2 are added.
I don't believe we have that say with an eligible facilities request.
No, we can't put any conditions.
Yeah.
Okay, but not as a condition, just
So,
the town can verify for
That's why they requested the additional reports, and that's why we're here with a public hearing.
Right, but that's before you're installed.
I want to say that the report has what's going up. Yeah, the report includes what's going up.
Oh.
But
Okay,
it-
presumption of what that would be.
Well, it's all
If
measured.
it's not on there, yeah, but he's talking about
Well,
measuring
it's-
it in.
When you look at the report, it's as is and after install.
Yeah, they've got both.
It's got both.
Okay.
I looked through it.
Okay, good. And then, I guess this may be a tangent, but, I was just curious, who within the town, would be responsible for, if there were, applications brought in to put small cell towers within the town, who, or which department is
So,
responsible to
any
make sure-
application pertaining to this would start with the zoning enforcement for the building department, and then if needed to come to planning, it would be referred by the ZEO to planning.
Okay, and that, so the planning board would be responsible for making sure it fits the new, cell tower law?
That's where the planning board uses their attorney and the applicant's escrow.
Okay,
So basically, before she even comes the first time, I have our attorney, she gives me an escrow check, I have our attorney look it over to make sure it's an eligible facilities request. He deems yes or no, where it is, this is one of those. Because if it isn't, then we'd be here longer.
so it sounds like it's the planning board's responsibility to make sure it's within the town code. Is that what I heard?
The zoning enforcement officer does that.
Zoning enforcement officer.
Right.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you, Rex.
No problem. So, any
There's
other?
another.
Oh. Yes?
It's not directly related to, this case, but, the new big deal law that's happening, Trump's new law, it has a clause that, the US government is allowed to put in any cell towers anywhere. And I'm asking everybody to call their senators and congressmen to say, we want a revision of that the towns and the cities have a say. I don't know the right language, but Steve Romine has said this on the Woodstock radio station today. I happened to hear him say it, didn't know about it, and it's called KR. It's the law about telecommunications. You call your congressman and senator.
I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Please.
Yeah, but they can help.
No, then they can come in my backyard, you know, put up a pole, no,
Absolutely.
And now if we have no say, and we live in this peaceful community that's cancer-free, we don't have cancer due to radiation, I know we're not supposed to say that, but, it's really important that you reach out. We might have a chance to change that part of the
I'm
law.
on this issue things that we are
Yeah.
reaching out about, or maybe maybe things that we are reaching out about.
About the telecommunication.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Law.
it's endless.
That one hit me bad.
Thank you, Nan.
Any other questions
The person who
regarding
makes
this?
those phone calls.
Any other questions regarding this telecommunications request? Board members, any questions,
Any
issues?
other people in the audience who want to speak to this?
All right, well then we'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Please move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
One more.
we are going to make a motion to approve this application pending a draft resolution.
Move
Favor?
to approve the application, pending draft resolution.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Probably Wednesday, I'll send you the resolution, because I'm gonna try to take.
I'm taking Monday off.
Me too. Me too. But
All right, well,
we'll get it all rolling, get what you need, and get you back with building, okay?
Awesome.
Thank you, Brenda, for coming down.
so rest assured, everybody will continue to have cell service. All right. On to our next one,
I
which is
guess we'll try to get Zoom back.
I'm gonna see whether we've got.
still a couple minutes
The last
ahead.
time I tried, we didn't have it.
Oh, wow. You ready for this? My laptop is still working, but everything else isn't. So that's his next.
All right. This is not a public hearing.
Try again. No, we don't have a server at Digital Topaz, according to my computer.
We might be running on generator.
If the power going off, knocked it out.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
We're not even bothered.
We'll continue in the dark ages here.
Yep.
Relatively speaking.
All right, we have a sketch plan review coming up. And I just want to remind everybody out here that all planning board meetings are open to the public. And we appreciate everybody coming and paying attention and following it. But this is not a public hearing, so please hold your comments until we do have a public hearing, and then you can say it and it'll go on record.
That's way down the road.
Yeah. All right, so we have before Xena Development LLC, Planning Board Case 25-1237 and SPR 250390, and this is a sketch plan review of initial traffic and Hudsonia consultant report of subdivision, site plan review to reconfigure lot lines decreasing from 3 to 2 parcels, and modifications to existing site by expanding the road in the R5 district on Eastwood Lane.
And I can't put anything else because we don't have internet.
All right, so we have in front of us Cuddy and Petter going to basically respond to our traffic consultants and our Hudsonia consultants.
Yeah, Walt, do you have a plan sheet that you could roll out? Just so we have a visual. I know it's been a bit. We were last here on February 20th, so just very briefly, I know we're all familiar with the project, but I'll just run through the details quick. So we are before this board seeking approval to improve Eastwood's Drive to uniform width of 20 feet in accordance with New York Fire Code and extend it approximately 1,200 feet to reach the parcel in Ulster. We had initially sought to leave Eastwood's Drive as is. We sought a determination from Butch as the local fire inspector to grant us a waiver from the New York State Fire Code, but he denied that and said we need to come in front of this board and make it a uniform width of 20 feet. So we are encroaching on a wetland and wetland buffer area. So the wetland buffer encroachment to expand the road is approximately 0.46 acres, and then the only direct disturbances to any wetland or water course are to repair existing culverts because they're failing existing under the road. And also an important point I want to make too is all the expansions, I'll flip it around so it's correct for you guys, are to the north, away from the larger wetland on the south, all occurring on our property. And also the new road extension to reach the Ulster parcelage avoids any wetlands or wetland buffers. So we have included right now some mitigation measures as part of the wetland buffer mitigation we submitted for the wetland and watercourse permit. The temporary ones are our typical silt fencing during construction, and then some permanent mitigations we are showing buffer enhancements along the roadway corridor near the encroachment areas, such as plantings of native shrubs, plus the hydrologic connections and some of the culverts between the wetlands are damaged because of their failing nature, so when we replace them, it'll improve the flow and allow additional space for amphibians and other things to cross under the road. But we'll touch on this more when we get to the Hudsonia report. So since February 20th, we did receive the town consultant's traffic review, and the conclusion of his on traffic is that he agrees with our traffic consultant's report that there is no impact on traffic. And I want to highlight too for this that our traffic report that he reviewed was conservative by a factor of 2. We basically assumed double the amount of homes to have an overly conservative analysis, and he still found that there was not going to be an impact on traffic. And I know that's a big concern to everyone, so I think that's a good thing. Also, he flagged a fire code issue for us. We had reached out to him, Walt from MJ had, and we're working through on how to best address that, but that would either really be through another access road, or we would have to sprinkler the homes. We also provided on Monday submission to you. Really, the big deliverable in that, which we'll get to, is our response to the Hudsonia report, but I also wanted to just note quick too, Ulster County in 2024 issued an EMS services delivery report, and they calculated the response rate for the county based on the population and number of responses per year, and the response rate is 0.1289, or 129 responses per year for every 1,000 people in the county. So if a typical household is 2.54 per person, the expected EMS responses from the project is only 9.82 per year. Also, one thing I want to note, which we're still digging into, is that the town of Ulster executed an ambulance contract with Empress, which became effective March 1st. And based on preliminary correspondence with the Ulster town attorney, I think what that contract calls for is that if there's a call originating from Ulster, it's supposed to be routed to Empress first, if they're available. But we've both reached out to the county 911 and Empress themselves just to get more details on that, and anything that we get from both of those parties on emergency responses, we'll of course submit to the board for the record. But I think that's all to say that with the low response rate and the contract that Ulster has with a private company, I think this should mitigate that potential impact on the town of Woodstock. So now on to the Hudsonia report. We included as Exhibit A to our submission just some responses to comments. And I'll invite Dave in a minute to speak in further detail on that, but not to lose the forest through the trees on this before diving into the specifics. I want to highlight, like Sonia's executive summary was essentially the applicant should provide additional studies and potential mitigations to provide additional detailed information on planning. You know, he's not recommending a denial or anything like that. So we're primarily here to discuss that report. We've proposed some measures already in our wetland mitigation report that we submitted last July, but we want to review some additional mitigations with you this evening, get your feedback, and then the hope would be moving forward, based on some agreed mitigations, we would make a supplemental submission noting those plan changes. So unless you have any specific questions, I would turn it over to David and Walt to discuss some of those aspects.
I don't know what specifically you want me to discuss. We went through the Hudsonia report, and I do have paper copies of it. So.
And this is the 200 and some page document that you sent us. It includes that response. Correct.
It's a lot of attachments with.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what we got.
It's 100 pages. What we prepared.
Oh, okay.
They included the original
Yeah,
report.
Okay, I'm just saying your detailed response to Hudsonia is part of that
Yes.
document that we all got by email.
Right, so that's Exhibit A. So I just want to clarify that document's not as big as it seems. I wanted to include the 2024 Ulster study just for purposes of the record. I didn't want to just cherry pick or reference the online thing. I just wanted to give you the whole report.
It's got a lot of parts, and they're clearly labeled.
Yep. But Exhibit A is to that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you want to talk about the amphibian study that we did back in March, or if the board has specific questions about certain aspects of it, you know, we're happy to drill into those details.
Well, I have some concerns about the observation about there being a dog on that visit, which I think is a concern. You won't get a natural reading of the environment if you've got a dog with you.
I would respectfully disagree with that. There are dogs used on a lot of amphibian reptile surveys. Yeah, there's published studies where they'll use dogs to find box turtles and other species like that. But I don't.
Is that what that dog was doing?
No, it wasn't. It was accompanying the surveyors.
Well, I think the question of whether the presence of a dog changes the behavior of those local animals is a question that needs to be looked at.
I can
It's one thing
if
if it's a trained animal whose purpose there is to look for particular kinds of animals, but if it's just there, then it's not necessarily going to behave in a way that is neutral to the study.
All right, but in response to your response to Hudsonia's report, we have to have Hudsonia answer your questions. We're not specialists in that.
Yeah.
So Hudsonia has to see your report and come here and respond to it. We can't.
And I would suggest, Peter, that we also include Zoe's document,
Mm-hmm.
share that with Hudsonia. I think that's a very rich document.
Yep, certainly is.
What's her last name?
Keller. Zoe Keller?
Keller?
Yeah, Zoe Keller,
Zoe Keller.
who lives in the area, who certainly has a lot of credentials for
So, of course,
operations of that length.
no time like the present, we're almost out of escrow,
Right.
so I'm thinking 20,000 till we can
Right.
continue.
So the Hudsonia report, I don't know if it addressed, I read you through that whole thing, but I don't know if it addressed the critical environmental area that Xena Highwoods is. And those decisions will be made by the planning board. So once we review the critical environmental area and what's involved with that, we will come up with that. But right now, we're waiting for Hudsonia's response to your response. So we will be waiting.
So just to understand, we're going to send this response to Zonia to
Yeah, because
review.
we're not professionals in that field.
Understood. And
And
then,
I'm suggesting adding Zoe Keller's
Sure.
information to what we send to Hudsonia.
Yeah, and we can prepare, if you would like, something specific to that document as well, which
That
was
would make sense.
shared with us. Okay.
And that also,
You got that, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
that also applies to the traffic report, because we have a specialist, a traffic consultant, and your response to his response has to be answered by him. We're not
Okay.
traffic consultants.
Right, and I don't think we formally responded to that yet.
Yeah.
We're still working on the fire.
So, I mean,
code
obviously,
issue.
the interest is going to be the intersection for Eastwood Drive and the main road, and whether that can take all the traffic and all the construction that's going to be involved.
And the issue that was raised about mailboxes, I think, is something that, I don't know, I don't know where that came up. It wasn't in the traffic report, was it?
No.
what was the concern?
Well, just blocking the
Are you
view.
going to have mailboxes for the subdivision on Xena Highwoods Road, right at the intersection there? I think you would have to, because I don't think the post office is going to go down your road. That's the question.
Okay.
If the
Sure.
post office is going to go down your road, then that's one more trip per day, but it's also not adding a block of boxes where somebody has to park.
Understood. Yeah, we can work on that. Do we have any?
Yeah, I think,
Of course, you understand the whole issue with the traffic is how much Eastwood Lane can take when everything is developed, and that's what we have to look at.
And what
Is
it
that how
adds
it
to
was
Xena
in our-
Highwoods
is that how it
Road.
was in our report plus your report? I thought that was looked at, that our traffic study was then substantiated by your consultant, that,
Well, that's, he has to, I can't speak for him.
I thought we had his report, sorry.
I mean, I have his report.
Did you guys review his traffic consultant?
I mean, I've read both reports, but my question still is concerned with the traffic intersection with Xena Highwoods Road and Eastwood Lane.
Yeah, so that was a studied intersection as part of the report.
And our concern is that there's 750 acres that you guys have that can be developed, and there's at least 5 more houses on that road and land that can be subdivided, so there's more houses that can be put on that road,
On which road?
on Eastwood Drive.
Right, so the traffic report, as part of that baked into it, it studied 54 homes, so it's either close to double the 30 in Ulster. And we said it in the report, we were just doing it to be ultra conservative, knowing that we would get a hard review from this board. And so that would include the ability to build homes on the existing parcels in Ulster, if that would.
But I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, and you guys have young children. Your homes are supposedly being priced to the point where you're going to be selling to people with children who are eventually going to become teenagers, who are going to be using a bus service. So they're going to be, if you live in this area, you know that you drive your kids down to one of the main roads so that they can meet their school buses. Then the kids get a little older, and because the area is totally inaccessible to any kind of public transportation, every kid has a car. So you now have a house with 2 adults and 2 teenage kids. They start driving here at 16. You're going to be wealthy enough in the homes that you're building to have their own cars. So that's 4 cars a day, multiple times a day, coming in from, 30 homes or more. So those are all things that need to be built in. Robert Moses did it when he built in everything, and look how far his future plans didn't even work when doing the Long Island Expressway or anything out in Long Island. So that's thinking ahead to a development that's going to be taking in the amount of homes that you're doing on a small country road that you want to build homes on and have a traffic study on. Okay, presently Xeno High Woods Road doesn't even have a line down the middle. Intersection into Sauk Hill Road is the only 2-lined highway except on the other end, which is Glasgow Turnpike. So there's a whole lot of future planning on a road that we're talking about. It's not only going to be traveled by what the people see. Okay, we've got homes that aren't going to be sold, flipped, sold, flipped, sold, flipped every time 2 people want to come up from the city or from somewhere else. And then additionally, as people age, okay, and I won't be alive for that, I'm sure of it, in 30 years, but you're going to have needs for greater ambulance service. So there's a whole lot of future planning for just the houses that are going on to Ulster that are going to be impacting on Woodstock's road and Woodstock's traffic. Part of our comp plan suggestions were to look at what's going on with the population of Woodstock now since COVID. That the population has grown very, a much higher density than they anticipated. We are looking at your homes as maybe 2 people here and a couple people here and one ride down here and back and forth. That's not planning for 10 years ahead. That's not planning for when your homes finally get built. What is going to be the economy, what is going to be the number of people moving out of urban areas, coming up here, using our resources and using our roads. And that's one of the things that I need when I'm asking for something to be looked at by one of our traffic account consultants. It's like any business. You go out 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. You've got to do that with traffic as well. So that's all I have to say about it.
So I'm just trying to understand the math in the equation. The assumption is that all 30 homes are going to have children at the same time and grow up and all have cars?
Well,
No,
so-
not. That's not the assumption. The assumption is that there's not planning for what your community is going to look like in 10 years.
Just to ask, has that feedback been shared with your traffic consultant so it could be worked
No, I'm
into
just looking at this
No.
right now. This is a site plan review. So
Sure.
site plan reviews, you
No,
bring
it's a
up
sketch
things,
plan.
a
It's
sketch
not
plan
even-
review, sketch
This
plan
is
review.
early in the process.
Right,
Yeah.
so sketch plan reviews, if you're writing a check for $20,000 for an
Writing a lot
escrow,
more.
we're looking at things that should be explored. These are
Sure.
future events. So I think that I'm actually saving you some money by bringing this up
We
so that
appreciate it.
everyone's traffic
We
consultants
appreciate,
look at it.
we appreciate it. I'm simply trying to take your comments and put them into like an action plan for us so that we can take them away and work on them. Because
Absolutely.
we are spending a lot of money on
I'm
consultants and
sure you
reports,
are.
and those 200 pages have a cost per page, and we're just, for every 200 pages you get, there's 1,000 pages you don't. So we're trying to be as cost conscious, but also as like proactive as possible in getting all these reports done and in front of you. So we would love, we can either share that guidance with our traffic consultant, or you can share it with your own, but maybe it can get worked in.
Yeah.
It would be helpful,
Please.
it would be helpful if you knew what you were thinking about doing with the remaining acreage in Woodstock. If, for example, it were to go into conservation, that would make a big difference in our sense of what the future
Sure.
might be, versus if you're saying, well, we don't know, maybe sometime.
No, we've said we've had no plans to build. I'm happy to engage in that discussion because I think it's an important one. We would conserve land in Woodstock, and I think that we've heard just from listening to the recorded, YouTube videos of this board, like in discussions that we haven't been a part of, assumptions made about what we plan or are not planning to do on the Woodstock land, and we've made public offers to conserve hundreds of acres of the Woodstock land on several occasions, even in front of the ZBA when we got caught in that sort of process. We made these offers to the Woodstock Land Conservancy that's here with us today. We asked in exchange for a lot of conservation simply that they allow the town's review process to run its course. That was rejected. So we've not included any.
Which review? This review?
This review.
Yeah.
They have no control over this review.
Well, they've appealed to the ZBA about the zoning inspector's determination of the initially. They've been lobbying. They wrote a lot of lobbying letters to about the lead agency request that this board take action. So that to me
that doesn't bind us.
Certainly, I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying that our private offer to them was, we will conserve land simply if you don't try to interject on the process, which I think they definitely tried to interject. Whether or not, I'm not saying that they have influence here, but I'm saying that they've been working very hard to interject. So we'd love to engage in a discussion about conserving land in Woodstock.
I'm trying to make a different point.
Please.
Our job is planning.
Sure.
So when we look at a project that includes this amount of acreage of very sensitive lands, we have to think about what might happen at what point it might happen. A commitment gives us something to plan with. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, doesn't give us anything to plan with.
Okay, but we have an application submitted that we tried very hard to reduce the scope of our application. Obviously, we came in here 2 years ago with like a very ambitious plan.
You did.
It was a rendering of an idea, right? We made no submission at that time. At the time, we were thinking maybe we can just be extremely transparent with our ideas and our thoughts. We'll get some good feedback, we'll take it away, and we'll work on it for our submission. We clearly got like tons of feedback, and in a way it was successful because we like significantly reduced our scope. So in this meeting now, we have submitted something on less than 20% of the acreage that we own by design, but I'm just a little frustrated because we purposely reduced the scope so that we don't want to plan anything on that land. And so if you're asking us to just conserve it,
Ever?
I have no,
We hear you.
I'm trying to, if you're asking me to conserve the rest of it in perpetuity, then like we can have a discussion about it, but.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm suggesting.
Because what we hear what you're saying is you're not planning to do anything with that land, but we're a planning board. We have to plan that will be done.
If we came back with
Unless you want to sign it over to.
No, if we came back with a new application, I'm not saying that we would.
Yeah, I just want to make one point.
Wouldn't that be reviewed at
I
that
hear what
time?
you're saying. It would be.
So why are we being?
Yeah, so I hear what you're saying, but I think we got to think about it in the converse. If we basically did like a GEIS on what could be done on the rest of the property, it would actually make it easier to develop in the future and open it up for development. You want to try to keep it to a future project-specific review because then you have more control over the development. Because if you do like a GEIS right now, and it's a GEIS, if you look at seeker regulations, is basically a pro-development tool. If a municipality wants to open up an area to development, they study any and all possibilities, and if you fit within those parameters, all you have to do is go in front of their planning board and get site plan review. You don't have to do seeker again. So I actually think trying to do something like that on this site for the balance of the parcelage would actually be to the town's detriment. It would make it easier for some future developer to come in and develop it if they fit within the parameters of whatever
If they
use
sold
you
it
make
to
it.
somebody else, or if they decided to do it
Right,
themselves.
right. It makes future development easier. So I think it's actually not a good thing to be doing that for the town, for the future conservation and, review and maintaining that authority over what could be.
It's a worthwhile point.
Yeah, and I encourage you to speak to Mr. Lyons about that too. He's well versed in seeker, so.
Okay, so we've had your response to the traffic study, and you see where we stand with. We still have questions about the access traffic there. Your response to Hudsonia is complete, but we would have to have Hudsonia counter or at least review it and tell us where they stand. The wetlands is a wetlands and watercourse permit. As of the 1st of this year, all wetlands have to be referred to the DEC, all wetlands. So we're waiting for the DEC to tell us where they stand, because if they do not want to have anything to do with it, then we can use the Woodstock Wetlands Course, Wetlands and Water Course law to apply to it. But right now, we're waiting for DEC.
Yep, so we have our parcel JDs back, so we'll
On wetlands?
Yes.
Show me.
Yeah,
Show me.
we'll submit them at the next one.
No, I mean, you say you have it, I want to see it.
Oh, I don't know if I have.
Because it's not for wetlands, I read it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't.
do
Yeah.
you have something else that we didn't get?
It's not for
Yeah,
wetlands.
it is for wetlands.
What were you?
We had
It's a jurisdictional determination for wildlife, and it's not
No,
for wetlands.
We were submitted, we submitted the parcel JD. I don't know if the town was copied.
Well, then
on
we
it.
can do it, we can submit it.
No, it's
It
already
has to
done.
come
We
from
have
us,
it.
yeah.
I can see it, I want to see it.
Yes, and we'll provide a copy to the town.
Okay, well, we can't go any further with the Wetlands and Water Course application until we see it, what the DEC said.
Well, they said, 2 of the parcels are jurisdictional.
I need to
one's not.
see it, not hear it. I want to see what, the letter from the DEC.
We will submit it.
I mean, the thing about wetlands with the DEC is a new decision that they made.
Yep.
So
And they can
it's
declare
not
this thing
something we
critical.
decided.
They could declare this a critical area and change the whole picture, so we don't know.
Yeah,
Or
it
they
seems
could
like
say,
the,
we just use our law, and then we all know what that is.
it seems like the one piece that discussed the JD in one of your exhibits was more about wildlife.
Yeah,
Or
there's
the
separate
wetlands.
ones.
There's 2 separate ones, we just haven't submitted it.
Okay,
We're-
perfect.
I don't think you want us to speculate what's in it, so we're not gonna do that.
Got it.
We'll just send them.
It's coming.
We have it. I
I
don't
want
want,
to raise something that hasn't come up, because I want to be fair to you, and I don't want to be dumping something onto you next time you come. One of my concerns is that the Woodstock zoning does not allow you to extend that road more than 2,000 feet. It's already, you're going to have to go a lot further than 2,000 feet to do what you want to do. Now, according to my understanding of our code, it's a dead-end road. It cannot be longer than 2,000 feet from the Cena Highwoods Road intersection. You would have to put in a second road to meet that standard, because then it wouldn't be a dead-end road anymore. Now, I don't know if that never came up before, but I know because I looked it up, it's in our code.
Yep, no, that's something that we're aware of, and that had come out during the ZBA process. And my reading of your code, and of course, you know, I'm happy to have Butch's input and your town attorneys, is that that is a waivable design standard for subdivisions, because that is where that provision is located. So this planning board has the authority, under the appropriate circumstance, to waive that design standard. And I have the code in here, but I'd have to dig it out. And I think considering a waiver for this project is actually beneficial, because there are options for creating a secondary access road, but all it does is lead to more environmental impact.
I understand that. It's
So-
absolutely a concern. It would go right, it would go through the Woodstock property, it would have to go over the Sauk Hill.
Yeah, well, I have a map. I can show you, but-
Where's the, I mean, I don't know about the waivability of it. I'm not an attorney. I know what that code says. Where is it said that we can waive something like that?
So, section 202-43 or 44, depends on which one you want to choose, says the planning board may waive upon specific request, so we can make this request in our next submission, and by specific resolution, subject to appropriate conditions and guarantees. You can condition and guarantee the waiver however you see fit to mitigate whatever impact is identified. That the requirements of these regulations, so the subdivision regulations relating to road length, to the provision and design of any and all required improvements, which in its judgment, the special circumstances are not requisite to the interest of the public health, safety, and general welfare of the town, or not appropriate, can be waived.
Right.
Because we have included a subdivision application just to...
We're quite familiar with that
Yeah.
code, we've used it quite often.
So then the question becomes, on what basis we would...
Well, we've waived things where where making a curve to a standard can't be done, so we've waived that down. But in this case, we're talking about an intersection, and that's something we can't waive.
we have, I mean, we have a sketch of where that second road kind of generally would have to go. And we have the ability to build it. Obviously, we prefer not to because of the impact of it. and obviously there's costs associated with it, but.
And I'll provide this in our
Okay,
next submission.
I see the point you're making. In other words, what you're saying is, you have a right to build a second road, which is in principle true. So doing what you're proposing to do is less damaging
And
than
then that,
doing what you would have a right to do otherwise.
Yep.
That's a reasonable argument.
yeah.
And if you're concerned about future development of the property, that is something that makes it easier.
Right.
So I think you want to avoid it also for that reason.
Well, anyway, the zoning enforcement officer did write back to us and said that there are already 4 or 5 houses on the road, and there's ability to add 4 or 5 more lots on there, and then add your 30 lots, puts it over the limit. That's from the CEO, the building inspector. Okay, so, what do we have to look forward to get organized for our next round here?
More escrow, and then Hudsonia can review, and you guys will work on the traffic.
We were talking about asking for a planner to look at this, weren't we?
Absolutely. John, Lyons, and Peter and I had all talked about that, and yes, there will be a planner. We just were trying to not bring the planner on until we covered a few things first. So that's why we started with Hudsonia, we started with traffic. Yes,
Everything is as squared away as possible, so that
do,
the planner
right, so
gets
do you
the
understand?
maximally
Yes,
organized.
that's the plan. We'll talk to John this week also, and, iron out a few things and all that, and keep moving forward, We're down to like less than 2,000 in escrow, just for the initial, so that's why I'm asking for 20, so we can just kind of
Coming
keep
your
it
way.
going. I know.
Yeah, however else we can square things away so that we can, whatever.
But from what I hear from you guys, you are working on some more traffic stuff. This is what I hear, right, Alex?
Yep, so
So
to
you're
answer
working
the
on more
question
traffic
about
stuff.
what goes into it, yep.
Yes, and there's a few things you guys are also working on.
What else are we working on?
I mean,
Traffic?
part of the traffic may be adjusting the entrance. I don't know whose property or how may have to make the entrance bigger at some
I
point.
mean, the entrance at Cena Highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walt, do you want to speak to what's proposed on the entrance?
Yeah, I don't want to speak for Tom, who was the traffic consultant, but I know he went back and forth with Mr. Maka, who provided the comments in this letter here, where he did provide a 2% background growth per year, that he agreed to the percentage along with a 13% seasonal increase to the traffic volumes. He will certainly address anything else that came up tonight to make sure that those are fully addressed, so then he can provide his sign-off letter to the board for that.
All right. Well, that's good. So we'll have the 2 traffic consultants' reports, and then, of course, our highway department will weigh in on how the entrance should look.
Great.
And then we'll see whether the DEC that they got is going.
Right.
Send those
The
letters in.
DEC, JDs, yep.
Yep, we'll send those in.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you've seen the photographs of the water level being already up to the level of the road right now, so.
Well, that's why we're gonna repair all those culverts, that's part of our plan.
All right.
I'd like to raise something that isn't in some ways our business, because it's Ulster,
Okay.
but I want to ask it anyway. Given climate change, I think all of us have to be thinking about forest fire. And I'm wondering how you are taking that into account when you think about your subdivision. It is not our business, but it's something that I thought needed to get asked. I'm thinking about in my house, I've got pines right next to my house, and I've got the normal sort of asphalt shingle. I don't have a metal roof.
Yeah.
And you've got a narrow road there for people to get out. So I'm suggesting that you give some thought to how you would fare
Well, there's
for
been,
that.
yeah, I don't know if David, you have any thoughts on it? It's something for us to take away. We've I don't want to speak as if I.
No, I'm not
but
saying
I think
you have to
it's a
answer
great idea.
now. I'm saying this is something you want to think about.
Yeah, thank you. We'll definitely take it into account.
Yeah, I made a note of it, so.
Two, I just want to let you guys know, so you all know that Town of Ulster declared their intent to be lead agency. Our attorney wrote in opposition. He is trying to work to talk to their attorney and us, and Alec prepared to the DEC commissioner, and just kind of the facts that we're at a stalemate, you know, and thank you for doing that. So that's just where we are with all that. But as you guys know, seeker is going to go all through. This is just, again, this is the beginning. This is the review. Conversation. Concerns.
Yep, so just to add on to that, this board has 10 days to respond, or to add anything else. I did include what I submitted to the DEC, your attorney's objection, but if you have anything additional that you want to say to the DEC on lead agency, you do have 10 days.
And then how many days does the DEC have?
It's supposed to take 20 after that.
20 days. Okay.
Yep, and then they'll rule on.
And you did send it to John, and I did talk to him today, so we're going to try to talk to him
I copied
next
your
week.
attorneys, sent it to Ulster.
Perfect.
It
Again, thank you.
arrived at the DEC.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
And-
questions?
Any other?
And just so the public to understand what this discussion was, is
You're
that
glad to say I don't have anything else.
No, I would sit here all night, to be honest. We're very happy to be engaging. I think, like, you know, it's been a long road to get to this point, so we're happy to be here, and this is the discussions that we're welcoming, so we appreciate it.
the town of Woodstock, or the planning board of Woodstock, is asked to be the lead agency, because we believe that the majority of the brunt of all the action will go through Woodstock, that's the only way in and out, and that the effects of that development will be felt by the community that lives there, and they will be affected. So, that's why we're asking to be lead agency. We won't know the result until DEC decides. Okay, any other questions from the board to the applicants? All right, so I guess we know what we're got to do here. And, Melissa, if you want to schedule them, or I guess can't schedule at this point.
We're working together.
Yeah, I think the cadence is we'll prepare a supplemental submission.
Okay.
It'll go out to your consultants, they'll
Sounds
review
good.
it, and then.
And then once we'll get you back.
Yep.
And then hopefully I'll have a little bit more money to play with, and we can probably have John here or somebody here.
Perfect.
Yeah, this time I didn't,
All right, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
there's a
Thank
method
you.
to my madness, I swear.
We know that. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I can keep this.
Yes, that's your copy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Just remember, that's what we don't want to do.
Take that for you, that match.
Yeah, and we'll of course be submitting that.
Remember, that's what we don't want.
We're not over. We have 11 more minutes.
Yeah, not even close.
We haven't adjourned yet.
When you wound up this, other information that you can have, maybe John doesn't By the way, before you reconvene, Dean was standing up right over there. Sort of deviating, moving, ranting and raving how much so there is an outright lie here, and I heard it reiterated in this discussion.
Okay.
This is a classic segmentation issue.
All right, well, submit it. Did you guys see this road? This is their proposed road, I guess.
The second road, yeah, the green is the second proposed road. This is the new road, to their land.
Yeah.
Where's Ulster? Where's the line for
Right there. Oh, I don't know what that, it should be, that should be the line right there.
So then, they can't get a road in Ulster to their own land?
Yeah, they could go right out that way. That's all, they bought all this from the gun club.
But why?
And the gun club owns all the way out.
Why would they propose doing that?
That was what I said. You want to develop an Ulster, get to it from Ulster. Leave us out of it.
Are you sure
the whole thing.
there's no outlaws to doing that? Why would they spend all this time in aggravation when they could do that?
No, it's just a threat.
No, I
You
know.
saw this guy here, okay? Talk about somebody who's stupid.
A few people. It's good, it's going. It's just,
Anyway, I just don't understand why they wouldn't do that if they can. They don't have to deal with that.
I mean,
There must be a reason why they
like
can't.
I say, the gun club owns all the way out to the road. They'd have to buy the land.
Okay, that's why.
You know, but
That's why.
they don't have access.
no, because we have to finish our meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
Judy, we're bringing you in so we can finish.
unfinished business.
Okay. Judy, can you approve the draft resolutions for our public hearings?
Motion to approve draft resolutions for Woodstock Estates. That's the only one, right?
No Woodstock Estates for
You didn't list them, so I don't.
They're right here.
Oh,
1,
sorry.
2, 3, 4.
TV, yeah.
Oh, yes. Motion to approve draft resolution to planning board 25-1014A, SUP number 25-0701, and the SPR number 25-03221.
I.
7I.
1I, yep,
And SUP 25-03661I.
yes. Second.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, what are we doing with Woodstock Estates?
Oh, God, it's okay.
Should we just schedule a public hearing? Do you want to schedule a public hearing, or what do you want to do?
I want to send it back to the building department.
We did already.
I know, so they can approve it or not. I don't know, what do you guys think? Did you see this?
Okay, if that's the case, then just wait.
I mean, John was kind of saying, what are we doing, why are we doing this?
I know,
And
so
we're
wait
doing
it.
this because the neighbors across the road think it's ugly.
Yeah, I agree with John. We can't, there's nothing we can do about it.
No.
So,
It's in a fenced-in area in an old tennis court. I mean, it may be ugly, but it's not my problem.
are we waiving further review and I'll write a resolution?
Motion to waive further review.
Done. I'll prepare a resolution for the next one. They'll have their site plan review.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I mean, I second it.
Waive, okay. You guys did the comp plan. Oh, our next workshop's July 31st. What do you guys want me to pull together?
What do you think what would you guys like to go over that we have, that you might need more information on?
Is there anything that we could put into that workshop that would help us to deal with this thing?
Exactly.
Traffic.
Zena? Yeah.
Traffic.
Anything related to Zena development.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I think is, one of the things that I think is really hanging in fire is what exactly can we do with the fact that this is a
So,
CEA?
I have a weird...
The fact that it's a what?
That large property is a CEA. What does it give us the power to do?
Well,
The CEA?
they're not doing anything on that property, so we can't address it.
Okay,
They are increasing the amount of traffic going through that property.
That they are, and that's what Hudsonia is gonna have to counter.
I have an idea. What if I ask John Lyons to come on Zoom, and he can just answer our questions? The only thing I'm not sure about that is attorney-client privilege, and if it's not,
Oh,
yes.
can we make it executive session?
Can we?
And it's supposed to be only over personnel and stuff like that for executive sessions. However,
Now, this is a consult with our attorney, so.
that might fall under executive session. I think it
I
does.
mean, my feeling of this is, what we know about CEA so far is they advise us to pay special attention. And that's about
So-
all they do.
This is really, so now I'm gonna be really
But
crazy.
Is there
You
case
ready?
law? Is there case law?
I say, we don't come here on July 31st and we all sign on Zoom.
What difference does that make? If
Because
we've
then
got
there'll be nobody here. This is me creating executive session.
But,
And have John do the link so no one has,
but to answer that, Judy, under the critical environmental area that this area was because of the forest, we have a right to get a forester to go in and tell us what should be preserved and where the wildlife corridors should be and show us.
That's a really good idea.
You know, this is a forest that needs to be this and this
So
is
it's
a
not
corridor.
just a summit.
Or
it's also-
other like natural features like.
and we have
like
somebody who can do
cairns
that.
and Native American things there.
rock cans and stuff.
Yeah.
So
What do you
what
think?
you're saying is we can add to the burden.
We can put conditions in the CE, because it's a CEA.
Yeah.
We can definitely put conditions. Most, providing they relate to forestry and
I
wildlife.
mean, what happens with that road in terms of wildlife corridor, in terms of animals migrating? Not just.
Did you
not
read
just-
the Hudsonia report?
I did.
He did good.
I did. It's not just amphibians, it's,
Zoe's letter is absolutely correct.
I mean, the bottom line is, they're gonna get this approved. We're gonna have to give them this road. The bottom line is that we just have to get as much protection in place as we possibly
absolutely,
can.
absolutely.
I mean, there's no way we can deny them.
Well,
They own the road.
That answer they gave me on the road extension was absolutely right.
And it makes sense.
Absolutely right.
What? They'll just build the second road?
They have a right to build a second road. So, to have us give them the longer road instead of having them build the second road is a mitigation.
Yeah.
They have an absolute right to build a second road. We have a right to waive it if it's to the benefit.
Remember we said the fire department may require sprinklers?
That's a state code,
Yeah.
town code, that's state code.
Okay.
Yeah, they may still have to do that. If it's only one road, they may have to do that. But they are right that building a second road would be much more destructive than letting them do what we're asking, what they're asking us for.
But the next question I have, okay, is that, we're talking about this road and they're using the second road and the waiver as part of a subdivision clause. They're not doing a subdivision right now in Woodstock.
No,
They're doing a
you don't
subdivision.
understand. You don't understand. Our town law says that they can't have a dead-end road more than 2,000 feet.
That I understand.
And they're gonna get a lot longer.
Mhm.
If they added a second road, it wouldn't be a dead-end road anymore.
And it is a
Solve the
subdivision because they're
problem
just
with that.
reconfiguring the lot lines. Right now, it's kind of messy. It's 3 parcels with the road on it. They're gonna make it 2 and clean it up. I mean,
It's a fairly simple
I
thing.
get why they were coming with the subdivision.
Yeah.
But that's why the state law is the state law.
Yeah.
If you put 60 homes back there and you can't get there because this road is blocked,
Yeah.
you got a problem. And that's why they want
But
2
they
roads.
are correct that they have a right to create a second road which would solve the problem of that road.
Well, if they did, I wish they would, because if they did, they'd have to bring up this 500 acres in front of us, because that's where that road is. So go right ahead and bring it
All
up.
right, so we're gonna play hardball?
Yeah, and it's the same with, they can make a turnaround at 1,500 feet right here. They own the land. They own this
How would
property.
a turnaround solve the problem?
Yeah, how would that
That's what I
solve
don't understand.
Huh?
I don't understand how a turnaround would solve the problem.
Right now, there's an entrance into this 500 acres. There's a road going into it right there. They could cut a piece of that out and add it to this lot. They could do a lot line revision and put a piece of this to that lot for a turnaround. And
What
beat
would
the
the
whole
turnaround
thing.
do?
It's still a dead-end road.
But it complies by having a turnaround.
Really?
No.
There are certain subdivisions that we have done that
It's
have to have a turnaround.
The law doesn't talk about a turnaround. The law talks about the length of the dead-end.
Without a turnaround, it says.
No, without a second access. It doesn't stop being a dead-end road if you have a turnaround. It's still a dead-end road.
Well, but the point of the turnaround is so that because it's a one road, the traffic can get by and forth.
But that's not the reason for the law doesn't talk about that. It's simply the length that they were allowed to have for a dead road. It's still a
Okay,
dead road.
so
I don't
do
have-
we agree, do we agree, do we think we can pull this off for July 31st, a closed workshop with just us?
Yeah.
And maybe.
And it's
these-
attorney-client
these are the
privilege?
these are the kinds of arguments it would be
And
really good to be
I
held
think,
with John.
I think I'll just, this is our lawyer appointment, we have to end the meeting. And I won't even make an agenda, and I'll talk to John and see if he'll do it, and we'll do Zoom through him.
Now, won't we even at that point have who the lead agency is?
Oh, who knows, that might take forever. And that's a whole nother process in itself. Okay, let's end the meeting.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Boy, he,
So our next meeting is July
31st.
31st?
So
No, 17th.
You were wondering how much of these.
well, hi.
No, the 17th.
He said they had DEC approval. I asked him to show me.